The legacy's ready. Inhale the breath of life, resurrect the death of Christ. What you got to sacrifice? I'm on some other shit. Take over the mothership. Brothers get the clean and covenant. Universal loving it. I'll avoid you rubbing it. Check the thermometer. Every kilometer rises by heat pressure. Your thermostat couldn't measure. Boy, you familiar. Adam Barnes from Australia. Dark ages. So read the pages. Mighty Malachi. Born on the cusp between love and lust. Genesis through Exodus. Lazarus / Black Barnabas. The holy temple be the mental. You and I see Islamic Hindu. Understand the clear picture. Brave heart, verbal courage. Battle the seminar. Boy, you fam legacy. Watch and travel for positive energy. Always correct errors. Boy, you fam rule shit. Now and forever. What? Oratorical niggas is metaphorical. My editorial breaks down. Your monuments historical. Geologists studying land using the earth's crust measurements. 8 elements.
Atomic weight plus. Yo, shout out, guys.
Science thrust through gravity. Revolve around my aura.
I'm the soul that keeps spinning.
Supernova black quasar.
My mental radar picks up frequencies way beyond the Earth's equator. Forever glow, electrodes, magnetic force field.
Thoughts build. We born for real. Boy, you fam still exists. Golden fist.
You caught up in the devil's mist.
Fire war. Boy, you sire laws. Reveal this. Protons, electrons, atoms, cores, explosions.
The center of attraction and the nuclear shorotin.
My square be complete. Architectural, visual, the sound spectrum strikes
The mental and the physical. Ha.
my parameter.
Damn your diameter. Barcodes and scans from America to Canada.
From America to Canada. Get your mind
Yeah, man, question and answer. What I'll do,
brave heart,
I'll do a brief 10 minutes just to lay, to recap us with the Anu thing. 10 minutes, and then I'm handing over to you lot, yeah? Okay. Excuse me, Royal Fam. Where's the Why is this thing so slow, man? Hurry up. Hurry up, pal. Come on, let me hear you. Okay, a bit lower. It's about it, innit? Yeah. So yeah, guys, we're gonna do a question and answer on Anu Elyoin, the Most High, the highest. Because like I said, people learn better when it's you guys asking the questions. Interactive learning is better than just all the time listening to someone speak. So it's better when the things that block your overstanding or your full overstanding, you ask that question and don't feel ashamed for asking a question. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Obviously, I'm not going to act like I have all the answers and that I can just access any part of the Akasha records at will. So I'm going to explain something to you. Remember when I says to you, with every step that you take, the path reveals itself. So nobody just knows everything from standing where they are. You have to walk down that path. And there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. I'm somebody that walks the path. So at certain different times, next level of information is revealed to me. Like I'll tell you this. A lot of the information that I'm giving you now, I only got access to this part of the Akasha records in a later part of 2020. Do you understand? I had an epiphany in 2020 where I was being downloaded with a lot of my circle would verify this with me. So much information was coming down, not only through me, but we was transmitting this information and trying to process it. Obviously, you can say I'm at the forefront of what I do in my group, so it just seems like it's just me. But it's not just me. There's other people who access the Akasha records. I'm somebody who's very articulate, who's very eloquent. So it's easy for people to say, oh yeah, he's good at what he does or whatever. But I want you to know it's not just me. And I want you to know that there's certain things that haven't been revealed to me yet. I don't sit down here with all the answers like I'm some kind of, you can just come to me, ask me a question, and I'll give you the answer, which means you don't have to do no research. That's not how it works. But at the same time, I'm here to help you so you can walk the path, and so you can have somebody who you can liaise with and verify what works for you with. Okay, so the mark of a good teacher is to say, I don't know. Not a lot of people can say that. These big platforms and content creators and influencers, they want you to think they know everything. I want you to understand, the more I know, the more I don't know. Even though you might say, yo, Jadefre seems like he knows everything. Nobody knows everything. You understand what I'm saying? And the more you walk down the path, more information is revealed to you because you've made yourself worthy for that. So with that being said, Hupa Neteru Menunu Shayu Kawunla Lulbihu, he, she, the deities who nothing exists except by way of he or she. I'm going to say a different prayer today. So I'm going to say Pa Ashutat Shil Asaru, the prayer of Osiris. So I'm going to say Barkalum. Nukta o fogmin antuten ya enosat. Anuki tem li pata. Anuki li pali ul. Nuk halag tu pali ulat. Nuk gabal tu pali ulat ama bikun. Anuki pa mahui shil netru. Pa re shil netru. Pa mustara sil shil netru. Anuki fi pana wo shil re. Pana wo shil re kalunda kulni. Anuki hayozina zuf. So what I said was the prayer of Osiris. I fly up from you, O mortals. I am not for the earth. Anuki temli pata. I'm not for the earth. I am for the skies. I have soared to the skies. I have kissed the skies as a falcon. You understand? I am the messenger of the deities, the son of the deities. You understand? I am in the light of Re. The light of Re is entering me. I am life itself. Amun. Okay. This book is my recommended read for the day. The Emerald Tablets. Yeah. It's a breakdown of the Emerald Tablets. It's called Alchemy for Personal Transformation. And it's written by a modern day alchemist named Dennis William Hauck. Dennis William Hauck. Yeah. This is one of the most fundamental books in my own transformation. Another book that I had inside the jail with me that made me have, it's like a system for you to get into your higher self, how to access your astral body rather than your emotional self or your physical self or your mental self. This is about your astral body, how you get into that astral self. You understand? And for some people, it may take a lifetime to learn the jewels in this. For other people, it may seem like, yo, they learned that shit in a week and are able to do certain things in a week. But with that being said, let me give you the brief recap on Anu. So if you remember our conversation, we was talking about allness, Barkalum, or Patemta, the all. You understand what I'm saying? And I want you to understand the all existed as the all with nothing else. It's just the all. If you take everything away in creation, physical creation, what you're left with is just the supreme consciousness, the 1,000,000,008,000,000 unified minds, unified energies, elements, the all. Do you understand? Now the all, as I said, the universe is mental from the mind of the all. So the all had a thought, like, yo, I want to experience, yeah, all this knowledge, this stuff that I know, I want to experience it. How am I going to experience it? I have to create a state of ignorance. This state of ignorance has to be a state where I can put things in it. I can manifest experiences in there. Yeah. And this unified whole can compartmentalize, and all of us collectively can have a number of experiences that contribute to the critical mass. When all experience have been experienced, we'll hit what's called a critical mass. Now, the first thing the all did was create itself or manifest itself. And that's why you see Christians talk about, oh, the word became flesh. They're taking that from Anu's story, or the story of the Most High, and how the all took on form. They say flesh, I'm going to say form. It took on form, and these forms had to be put in this nothingness. You understand? What we want to call beings and shit, and worlds and dimensions and realities and planes of existence, all of that type of stuff, yeah? So with that being said, the first thing the all did was manifest itself as the crystal green light. That's the light of life. When you look at the grass, It's that same green essence that makes the life in that grass as to why it's green, or the leaf. It's the color of life. It's the reason why we manifested green first before our melanin rusted. So, and it's the same with the aurora borealis. When you see the northern lights and the southern lights, the earth wears a crown, a tiara of fucking crystal green light. That's the crystal green crown that is placed on her by Anu. That energy literally permeates life. So Anu, the all created itself into this crystal green light, yeah, and then that crystal green light became divided into two parts. The second part of this green light, you call it fire. It's inferior to the crystal green light. The crystal green light is supreme. The fire is sub-supreme. From the crystal green light, you get all the good benevolent things, not just humans, aliens, animals, trees, everything good came from the crystal green light of Anu. Everything evil, or what you call evil, came from this sub-supreme force, which we call fire, which is the light of chaos. So in the Bible, when it's talking about let there be light and the sun and all that's chaos. Even if you look at the sun, it's fire burning, it's solar flares, it's explosions going on, that shit's chaos. So in the darkness was tranquil. From the moment the light came on the scene, yeah, because all light is not good. This light here, yeah, is the light of chaos, as to why we have all this shit going on. But anyway, from this crystal green light, the first being that manifested was the very first Anu that manifested himself as the one that sits on the throne. Do you understand? That's the very first Anu, and how Anu manifested himself from the all by coming through this crystal green light. And when I say Anu, I want to make this point as well. It's not a religious thing where it's just Anu. It's actually Anu and Antum. It's the man and the woman, or should say the male and the female. And in all essence, in all respects, it's the woman who's over the man. Even when you're talking about Anu, the real ruler is Antum, the woman. Do you understand? Not the man. The man is the enforcer of the woman. The woman comes with all the wisdom and the advice and the nurturing and stuff. The men, his job was to be like me and Louise spoke about, was to be an enforcer of this woman's galactic laws and stuff, and also to be a protector when it comes to war and fighting. We was providing protectors. You understand? So the first divine couple, the first Anu, yeah, came out of this crystal green light, and it personified itself by sound and electric energy. Sound and electric energy. And sound is vibration, where we was talking about everything vibrates and the sacred words. And that goes beyond the Bible, back into the emerald tablets of Tahuti, when he was known as the word of Ra. And that's why they tell you that Jesus is the word of God. And even in Islam, they say Jesus is Kalim Allah, the word of Allah. They get that from our shit, from how we use sound and vibration to manifest, to create, manifest through sound and vibration, the arm. Do you understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, with that little brief there, is there anything else I want to say? I'm handing it over to you guys, for you guys to come with the questions, and I'll sit here and I'll tackle these questions one by one. Do you understand? To try and give you guys some clarity. I can't see any questions at the moment. Hi, brother. Shout out to Nifimi24. Looking forward to this live. Yo, hit me with these questions, man. Let's go. You understand? I've had a long day. I'm going to try and get this wrapped up in an hour, just a little over an hour, yeah? If I see no questions, then I'll just feel like, okay, well, maybe I should just talk. So hit me with the questions that you have about Anu. Shout out to Talisha, Nefimi, Peter. Who else had questions? J Bars, official J Bars. Louise, Alethea. Hit me with some questions, man. Hit me with that. The stuff that you don't understand. I'll continue speaking till I see questions pop up. And we'll take it from there. But yeah, the seat of Anu was created so that when this creation was manifested within the all, because everything is done by the all, within the all. You are part of the all, and the all is a part of you. So when the all manifested this experience, what we're having now called life, and the multiple forms of it, it created that seat for a purpose. Like I said, the wrong person can't get in that seat. You can't get in that seat unless you've been qualified for it. What do I mean by qualified? If I was to say, some people go and have Egyptology courses and go to university and go to various bachelor's degrees, this, that, the other, and they feel qualified because they've got a certificate or a degree or they graduated from uni. But Jedefre Memnon will tell you, this universe is the university. That's why they call it university. Do you understand? And Mother Nature is the ultimate tutor. She's the only one who can qualify somebody. They can say, okay, Jedefre, Mother Nature can say to me, I'm going to qualify you to be Jedefre Memnon. Meaning, I'm going to give you the right articulation so you can speak clearly, the right intelligence. I'm going to give you a supreme memory so you can remember things easier than the average person, because you're going to need this massive memory, this hard drive, to be able to transmit this information and go through all this information. So we're going to give you that memory, Mother Nature. We're going to give you the passion that you have for your history. Mother Nature equips you with all your natural traits. Yeah? Your attitude, your passions, your dislikes, your intelligence, your articulation. She chooses leaders to say, okay, this person's going to be a leader. We might call him Malcolm X. He might not even have wanted to be a leader, but Mother Nature qualified him to be Malcolm X. Nobody else could have been Malcolm X but him. We're going to qualify this guy here as Jedefre Memnon. Nobody else can be Jedefre Memnon but him. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's Mother Nature that qualifies us with the mathematics, science, whatever gifts that we have, talents that we have. She's given us these talents for a reason. So now back to the Most High. When you're talking about that seat there, the seat of the Most High, only the person that Mother Nature's qualified can sit in that seat, because he's got to have the best mathematical expression. You understand what I'm saying? So Mother Nature gives which being, or the all, which being they choose to say, okay, this being, we're going to give this much strength, we're going to give this much speed, we're going to give this much mathematical precision, we're going to give him this scientific mind here. So the wrong person can't sit in the seat of Anu and wield the scepter and all that type of shit. The all knew exactly what he was doing, because let me say you like this. When it comes to that competition, some of it's multiple choice. Before they get to building planets and stuff in the final part, some of it's like real, like extreme multiplications and stuff, and some of it's multiple choice. Like, what would you do if you seen you seen an old woman crossing the road and you know that car was gonna knock her down? Do you understand? Would you save the old lady and kill yourself, or would you let the old lady, questions like that? It gives you multiple choice, because different beings are gonna respond differently. Agreeable being, a disagreeable being, or a neutral being, especially, are gonna have different answers for that question. And when you're dealing with the kingdom of Anu, it's majority rule. The majority of beings in this galaxy feel like we need galactic law, and we're gonna need a Most High. This is how it works in the all. Like I said, the all's in you and you're in the all. So when you're speaking about the seat of the Most High, and remember we said we want to have all these experiences, that means a lot of these experiences are going to be chaotic. It's not going to be all good, because we said, okay, we want to experience everything we know. That means you have to prepare for bastard. This is going to go a bit mad. We're going to have to be very precise with how we live out all these experiences. You understand? So there is a master plan. Otherwise, this shit could just implode and fall apart. You got reptilians, you got insect beings, you got predators. Yo, you got Earth, you got this constellation, you got that constellation. So we're going to need a very rigorous galactical system to run this shit. And that manifested in the form of the throne, yeah? Which means the Most High, yeah? And the Most High becomes responsible, it becomes representative of the all for the full 9 cycles of his term. He is the all in the flesh, and he can manifest on the throne, and he can dematerialize and become back as a part of the all again, like you see in the Lucy movie when at the end she dematerializes and becomes consciousness again. She becomes part of the super consciousness. You don't need a body. Yeah, Anu can do that at will. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't get this. Like, Hebrew Israelites don't know nothing about this shit. When they're telling you about the Most High, Yah and Yahuwah, tell them, how is he the Most High? What does it mean for him to be the Most High? And see if they can give you the information like how we've given it you, or even the equivalent, something that can match what we're saying to you. Because I know some of this shit is out there because of how we've been programmed and shit. But go and quiz these religious people. And I've told you I don't have all the answers. And my shit, I'm confident, sounds better than what Christians are putting out and telling people about original sin and woman is the problem and that's why they have periods. Or Muslims saying you can never see God. They worship some God called Allah who's got a throne, but you can't see him. So why has he got a throne? That means I'm going to, if I was to go and stand in Allah's presence, he ain't even got a presence. I can't see him. Yeah, but he's got a throne. So then I'm just staring at a throne. What's the point of the throne? Why don't you just have no throne and just have a voice coming out of the air or some shit? What's the throne for? Is it some kind of pomp thing? Do you see what I'm saying? So I will put my theory, I'm going to call it a theory, I will put my theory against any religious doctrine. Not that I'm into debating with a man, but I so know that them doctrines don't know what they're talking about. So nobody can defend the Israelite doctrine as it is as Jewish Bible Israelite doctrine. Why? Because that shit can't defend itself. Nobody can't defend the Quran. Yeah, I don't care what a man's saying. You can't defend the Quran. Why? Because the Quran can't defend itself. And a Christian can't defend the Bible either. Because the Bible or the New Testament and all of that contradiction, that can't defend itself. Yeah, I know for a fact that people can't defeat what I'm talking about. Because the shit I'm talking about defends itself. All you have to do is go out there and be brave enough to question your own paradigms and question your own beliefs and go and dig and go and unturn and go and learn and go and scrutinize and criticize. If you do enough of that, yo, I guarantee you, you'll come to the point where, bastard, this shit here is more solid than any religion I've ever heard about. Yeah, and it's not religion, it's just facts. It's the facts of religion. Because ultimately, we don't need a religion. We can choose any religion we want. I could be a Muslim if I want, because that shit came from us. Yeah, in the purest form. And just focus on the purity of Islam, the good bits in it. Yeah, there's people that do that. I don't got no problem with people that do that. If it works for them and makes them a better human, yo, amen, or alhamdulillah, as Muslims would say. Gratitude to Allah. If a Christian can make himself a better human out of the Bible, then I'm all for it. Like, you don't have to change every single person into to try and think like you think. If this works for certain people, leave them where they are, especially old people. You understand? They don't need to know all the specifics to get into. If you really believe God's good, then they don't need to know all of the fucking facts for them to reside in a heavenly abode after, in a nicer life after. Like, you got to understand this. This is what I wanted to say. Anu doesn't need you to worship him. He don't care if you worship him or not. You understand? If you go to religion, yeah, God, Allah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, they tell you, yo, I'm a jealous God. You have to worship me. If you don't worship me, I'm going to punish you. That's not Anu. My Anu, he don't need to punish you. Because all your deeds, either you'll reward yourself or you'll punish yourself, because this is how the universe is set. It's a karma thing. There's galactic law. It's very precise. So you've been given the guidelines. You understand? If you're not going to take the time to find out what these guidelines are and follow them or break them, then that's on you. It's not Anu who's going to come and punish you and put you in hell. You put you in hell. Your deeds, your actions, you put you in hell. You got to take responsibility for your actions. If you do a bunch of good shit and you end up on the Nibiru or Orion, heaven, you understand what I'm saying? Anu never put you in heaven. You put you in heaven. You did it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's where the difference between when you're speaking about the Most High in the terms that I'm putting to you, it's not like one of the names of Allah in Islam is Al-Samad, meaning the needless. They're saying Allah doesn't have a need, but he needs you to worship him. You're telling me he's the needless, but you're telling me I have to pray 5 times a day. Why does Allah need me to pray 5 times a day? they're not going to be able to answer me. Whatever answer they tell me is going to be a contradiction because you said it's needless. So if he needs me to pray 5 times a day, then he's not needless. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you use this process of negation to go through all these doctrines, Christian, Muslim, Islam, yeah, and walk through them, and then come into this doctrine that I knew, all the jewels will add up for you, man. But you see what people are trying to do? They're trying to understand this thing without first having understood Christianity or Islam or Hebrew. You have to go and study them too. Not because they're bullshit means, okay, I don't have to read the Bible because the Bible's bullshit. Yeah, but how are you going to know which part of it is the bullshit? When you're having a discussion with someone, how are you going to separate the truth from the falsehood, the wheat from the chaff, if you ain't never studied that shit for yourself? How are you going to even come into this discussion about the Most High if you ain't never even studied the Most High from your own religious paradigm? You understand what I'm saying? And there's a lot of us like that. And then what we do is we try and come and shoot down people like me because they don't comprehend what I'm saying. It's not my fault if you don't comprehend. I'm not here to make you comprehend. I'm just here to inform you. Do you understand what I'm saying? With respect. But a lot of our people, because they're on the stumbling block of the inner and overstanding, they don't have certain apps downloaded on their shit. So they can't even begin to try and comprehend what I'm saying. It might as well be Swahili or fucking Urdu or something, some obscure language that I'm speaking, because a lot of our people turned away from putting the work in and really studying this shit. And I'm not blowing my, I keep telling you guys, I've been doing this since 15 years old, man. I've been on this, I want to find out who the Most High is for myself for 15 years. So if you check now in the Bible, it says the Hebrews, they weren't allowed to know the real name of God. Up to this day, the Hebrews don't know the real name of God. They say Yahweh. Yahweh is a Sumerian word before, or Sumerian words, before it was changed into a Aramaic Hebrew word. They stole that from Babylon when they was in bondage. You understand? Because Yahweh was Enki and Enlil. Yah in Sumerian means good, and We in Sumerian means evil. So when you put it together and you say, okay, I worship Yahweh. So you worship good and evil. You understand? Because you can't track it to Hebrewism. Because Hebrewism stole it from Sumerian, cuneiform. So you have to go back to the origin of the word to really get a gist. Okay, that's what the word means, because they're the first people that came up. It's like if I said bomboclat, people would know that's a Jamaican thing. If somebody else made a variation of it, like said bumbiclat, and let's just say Indians came up with bumbiclat, you would know, okay, well that's just bumbaclat, what Jamaicans say, because now they're saying it. And they might have a little spin on there. They might use it a little differently or change some shit on there. Just like the word in the Caribbean, if you got Caribbean ancestry, you'll know, skunt. In Antigua and Guyana and Jamaica, all of them use that word, skunt. But all of them use it differently. Like in Antigua, I might say, you have to move your mother skunt. Like you're a mother skunt. Yeah. In Guyana, they might say, boy, I did that for you, the pan skunt. They use it different. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's the same word. So you have to go back to the origin of the word. And to go back to the origin means you have to get beyond the Bible. So all these meanings in Hebrew and stuff, when you start learning them, and then you go through Semitic languages way back to the Akkadian, because Akkadian is the mother of all Semitic languages, yeah? Akkadian, which came out of Sumerian. And the father of all Semitic languages is Nile Valley hieroglyph. Yeah, so that's the mother and father of all Semitic languages. So you can track all the words and you can see the similarities in Islam, Hebrewism, yeah, Christianity. You can start tracking the word like, they stole this word and just confounded it. Like the word in the Bible, Elohim, is the same word as Anunnaki. Do you understand? But that's their word for it. They don't say, oh, those are the ones that Anu sent down. They say, yo, those are them powerful ones. So Elohim, the powerful ones, is talking about the Anunnaki, those who Anu sent from heaven to earth. Or you go to the Nile Valley and they use the word Netru, the guardians, the watchers. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me see if this is a question. So where did Anu's wife come from? Anu's wife is his half sister. You see the Anunnakis, yeah? It's like this. And you said Anu's wife. So I take it you're talking about Antum, the main wife, because Anu's got loads of wives. You understand? But if you're talking about the heavenly consort and Leo's mum, Antum, her and Anu have the same father but don't have the same mother. You in our culture, if you go back to the pharaohs, Egypt, a lot of them pharaohs used to marry their half sisters. If you go into the Bible, a lot of them prophets, like Abraham, married his half sister Sarah. So it's the same theme. If you go to India, a lot of them rishis and rulers, they married their half sister. Now let me break this down for you. Remember we spoke about recessive genes coming from these Mzungu being these Allah barons and stuff. There was a time on this planet where there wasn't no recessive genes. We didn't have recessive genes. So we would marry our half sister. Why? Because as long as she didn't come from the same mother as you, if she came from the same mother as you, then you and her got the same mitochondria DNA. And that's the most important part of your DNA. That's where you get the inbred business and all that shit from. But back in the day, yeah, you would take a woman from your father's blood, yeah, to that means that any seed that you and that woman have would the way of thinking, the traits, your nature will be exactly the same. You know how these people roll. You know if what their traits are, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. There's no unpredictability about this bloodline, and there's no inbreeding unless you marry a woman that's the same as you, that comes from your same mum as you. That's a mad thing. But I'm talking about we never had recessive genes. So marrying your half sister never used to affect people like the pharaohs in the Old Kingdom or people like Ibrahim in Sumeria, who they're calling Abraham. When you get to the white man coming out and mixing his recessive genes into your bloodlines, now you can't even marry your half sister no more. Do you understand? So it became outlawed because now it's a whole inbred thing. It's all recessive genes. So in the time of the Quran or Muhammad, you see it come down in the Quran where Allah says to him, and I'm talking about Anu, because these are the real parts of the Quran, where Anu says through the angel Gabriel or Nusku, look, you can't marry your half sisters no more because this shit's all corrupt on earth now. Yeah, that was that marker. So Anu, going back to Anu, yeah, Anu's main wife is from the same father as him, Anshar. So she's the main wife, Antum. That's where she comes from, his bloodline. Do you understand? And that's why any seed from her, whether it's born first, whether it's born 15th, whether it's born 100th, he's going to be the heir. Because he's got the dual seed. He's got the bloodline from his mum and from his dad. Whereas Enki has only got the bloodline of Anu. He's half reptilian. So even though he's born first, like I said in the Telegram group, the law of the blood supersedes the law of the firstborn. And this goes back to them same Riskians having their own wars about who's going to be the heir and we should be the heir. And it weren't just all smooth running. There was fighting and shit before this shit got set up properly. It was a madness. People, wars. The north of Rizk going to war against the south of Rizk until they had to say, listen, man, we need a truce. So let's have a queen from the south and a king from the north. Or a king from the south and a queen from the north. When you go into the Lost Book of Enki, this is what it's talking about. This is and it gives you the names of the 9 Anus and stuff. It's telling you about all these wars that they were having. Because you got to understand, like I said, we give God this kind of perfectness. They do it with Jesus. They do it with the prophets. Like, this nigga ain't never sinned. He ain't never swore. He ain't never told a fib. He ain't never lied. They're just perfect. And God is just perfect. And you've given God all this power. He says, let it be. Muslims say, Allah, all Allah has to say is kun fayakun. And if Allah says kun fayakun, that means be, and so it is. To them, that's what they say. That's not my translation of Arabic, that's theirs. They say God, Allah, he just says be. Yeah, kun fayakun. Eggs be, and so it is. And he just clicks his finger and puff the magic dragon. There's a man, Adam. Yeah, was Adam born a big man, or was he created as a baby? Like, ask the Muslim, ask the Christian, ask the Jew. Okay then, if God clicks his finger and makes people, boom, you understand? When he did that, was Adam and Eve babies, or was they, boom, and they were just big people? And because I did it to them, and you see them like, bastard, they ain't never got hit with these questions. You see the eyes go up in their head and shit, man. They trying to search for this answer. Most people tell me they were made as big people. And then I say, okay, so if God says kun fire kun, boom, big people, how come me and you weren't made like that? Did God get lazy? Did he just say, yo, that Adam and Eve shit, yeah, that drained me out, rude boy. So now you're gonna have to lie down with her and make her have some kids and shit, because I ain't clicking my finger no more. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people don't question this shit. Now I'll tell you, kun fire kun in ancient Syriac, yeah, which is more like Aramaic, the real Arabic, it doesn't say be and he clicks his fingers and it comes in. It says exist and into existence things come in this nothingness. Exist, yeah, kun, not be. It means exist. And into existence things come. So it's a process which explains constellations, evolution, all that type. It's not no click and no finger. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a process. Do you understand? Universes are born and they go through growth, which you call evolution, and they expand and new planets are formed and rare. It's not no click and no finger thing. You understand what I'm saying? So we give God more power than God has. But Antum, the main wife of Anu, comes from Anu's very bloodline. The same father, meaning Anshar, going right back to the very first Anu that sat on the throne. You understand? Let me see. I hope that answers your question for you. For Anu was made into existence from the all. Anu is in the all, and the all is in Anu. When you say Anu, you're talking about one person, yeah? But Anu, the seat, yeah, that seat of existence was qualified by the all. All of us were made into existence by the all. Yeah. So if Anu is made into existence by the all, so are you. You're saying that like it's only Anu who was made by the all. All of me and you were made by the all. Do you understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, the fail-safe was that seat, that throne. Just like in our society, we say, okay, Prime Minister, this nigga needs to sit on that seat and sort this country out. It's on him. It's his responsibility. If it's shit, we're going to get him out of office. Do you understand? We created that as a fail-safe. You understand? Even though it's BS. That's the intent. That was the real intention of it. So it's the same for this seat, Anu. You're not dealing with one being. You're dealing with a continuation of beings, just like you have children, and they have children, and they have children, and they have children, and them children up there is fighting for that seat. They're competing for that seat. Do you understand? It's not a case of one being. Get that out of your head. That's a religious thing. It's a series of different beings. Like you've had a series of different prime ministers or presidents or kings or queens. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. The Anu that is in power now, I've told you guys this a couple times already. Raza El. That's his name. Raza El. And he is the Anu that's ruling now. That sits on the throne now. Yeah, in the you see like how your presidents have got Oval Office. Anu has his own Oval Office. That's called the ninth layer. That I told you that is blocked, the ninth density. So only certain beings can come up there and attend Anu in the Oval Office, which is called the ninth layer. Beings like the Council of 24, beings like who you might call Gabriel, who I call the Anunnaki Nusku, Anunnakis like Murdoch, or who other people might call Amun-Ra, and other people might call Angel Michael, his wives, yeah, his sons, Enki and Enlil. Not any and anybody can go up there and attend Anu on that level in the ninth layer in the Oval Office, and definitely not evil beings, because most of them are blocked at the sixth density. They can't even go into the seventh density. Do you see what I'm saying? Greetings to Empress Lee 75 Lee. You said something in one of your previous. Hold on. Yo, YouTube, why do you keep doing this, man? Just leave the thing on the screen now. Okay. Let's see if I can get it. Where is it? See what I mean? Where the hell is it? Okay, here we go. You said something in one of your previous lives about the wars being mainly about fertility. Can you elaborate on that? Yeah. The wars, yeah, in the heavens is like, you see, after the first war, when a lot of species lost their sons and lost their planets and had to become diaspora species. A lot of species had to mix with other species to survive. Like if you go to somebody else's planet and there's other beings there, they might not want you there. So in order for you to survive there and have a stake in that planet, you might have to mix your DNA with the native beings that are there. So now you can say, well, I'm your family too, so this is my planet too. So a lot of beings mix themselves out. Do you understand? And in that way, they lost their fertility and lost their pureness. And a lot of other beings went into technology too heavy, where like the Greys, they and the Procyon, they went into technology so hard, yeah, that they lost their genitals and lost the ability to reproduce. They just relied so much on cloning that they lost the ability to reproduce. Other beings like the Procyons, I just mentioned them, they, out of all the beings in this galactic neighborhood, I'm not being nasty here, but all the man them on Procyon will make me look like I'm skinny. They are like athletes, yeah, the way that their genetics is. Even the women, all the women look like, like women racers, like Shelly Ann Fraser and stuff, how they really powerfully built because they do the fast running and that. The Procyons look like that. This is how they're built. And also, they've got, all the men have got at least a 12-piece. You know what I'm talking about, innit? Down here. These men are packing. They got a big thing or bust you up, yeah? And the women are supposed to got, I'm just giving you the real, I'm not being nasty. They got the best vagina in this galaxy. They shit so wet, yeah? So their sex is so good, them Procyons, they fucked each other out to the point where they can't even get an erection no more. The women can't get an orgasm no more. They were so indulged in this, they just lived this sex business to like Hindus, to the point where they sex themselves out. So there's a lot of beings in this galactic neighborhood who their fertility is not like ours. Do you understand? My missus is fertile. I have to be careful. She will just get, you know what I'm saying? Like, so humans are very fertile. We make babies like nothing, even now, compared to certain other beings. So beings like the Greys, they're like, yo, we need to study these people. Because remember, if you're no longer fertile and you have to rely on cloning, in essence, you're dying. You're on life support. You're about to become extinct. If your technology failed in that, you're finished. So like the Greys, there's only 12 real Greys. All the rest Greys you see, they're robotoids. They're not real, like physical, biological beings. They're robotoids, yeah? There's only 12 of them original Greys left. And so they've got their own project trying to save their race. So I'll tell you this, the Greys, yeah, we were supposed to help them. So we was like, okay, we'll mix our seed with you guys, yeah, to help you guys, and you can help us, because we was part of this diaspora species. Like I said, the war with Tarnos, we had to leave Pegasus, and we had to leave other galaxies before. Do you understand? So we was like, yo, we'll help you. We was talking to the good Greys, yeah, because there's 72 different types of these bastards. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are neutrals. But the good ones was like, yo, we'll mix with you, man. The result of that mixture is what you call Dunakil. The black people with the massive head. The head is like a grey up here. So I told you in previous lives, they came up in places like Peru and North Africa and mixed with people. Some of them got the long heads. Some of them got the massive bulb heads. You understand? They was a mixture of the Riskians with the Greys. What happened before that mixture with the Riskians and the Greys, other Greys went and mixed themselves with reptilians and broke we had a contract, we're going to mix with you guys. It's a safer mix. Don't mix with them reptilians. They're disagreeable. They're going to mess you up. Mix with us. And a bunch of them went and mixed with the reptilians and made different types of reptilians. Like there's reptilian Greys that are more like reptilian. They're mixed with reptilian. Do you understand? And then there are Greys that are mixed with humans, because the Greys are trying to save themselves. Do you understand? So the whole thing's a mess. And so what I'm telling you, it's the same with the tall whites. They're about only half the fertile that humans are. So they have to go like jump through hoops to make babies and stuff. People like the Procyons will come in your house and watch you have sex and save the emotion and the passion that you humans are having, and the steam and the lust and the, save that shit on a chip, run back to his ship or take that home, load that shit up in his computer, bring his wife in, and now they're getting all the feeling that me and you have got. Oh yeah, now he can get it up, now he can breathe. You see, we don't know nothing about this shit because we still talking about fucking Jesus or Islam or Hebrewism, some circus thing. Do you understand? So that when someone like me comes and says this now, yo, this nigga got to be crazy. These niggas are crazy. And this is half the reason why Hollywood make these films too. Because they trying to beat us to the jump. So that if Jadefri, yo, this nigga watching too much Star Wars and shit, man. This nigga spooked these, yo, nigga talking Star Wars, Star Trek, fucking Avatar. I be telling people that Avatar movie's real. They went to that planet as avatars. They made avatars for themselves. Do you understand? These are real stories they're giving us in these movies. Do you understand? What is an avatar? Avatar is a vehicle like your car, where you can drive that blood clot car. Yeah? So an avatar is a human car, where it's like, yo, I need an avatar. Yeah? They selling flesh up there in the heavens. They selling sperm. Yeah? Yo, that shit's for sale. They coming down here abducting earth women because of how fertile we are. Most of these wars was about fertility and who's going to mix with who to save who. That's what I meant when I was talking about most of these wars are about fertility. I hope that answers your question. When did Raza Al's reign begin? Raza Al's reign began 24 million years ago. Because remember what I said, 9 cycles, yeah, our galactic cycle is 25,920 years. That's a galactic cycle for us when our whole Milky Way goes around our whole solar system, which is in the Milky Way, and the Milky Way does a full spin around that black hole in the middle, 360 million years. Do you understand what I'm saying? But our because remember there's cycles in cycles. Our solar system, yeah, in its own little, when it does that, sorry, not 360 million years, 25,920 years. That cycle for us, a galactic cycle, is 1 day for the Rizkians. That's 1 day for them. Because that was the original orbit of Nibiru, which for them, that's like 1 day. That's not even a fucking year. But for us, that's 25,920 years. That's why it says in your Bible, a day to God is 1,000 years. And 1,000 years to you is a day to God. That was symbolic of what I'm talking about. Do you understand? So for Anu and them, of 9 cycles of their time, is going to be something like 301 cycle for them is 360 million years. So time 360 million years times 9, and that's the length of time that these beings rule on the throne. 360 million times 9. So 36 times 9, and then add on the zeros. And that's your answer. Because I'm smoking, I can't even be asked to do that calculation. And from my understanding, this Anu, who's ruling now, his reign began 45 million years, 45 billion years ago. You see, when that war happened in the Pegasus, 90 billion years ago, we came to this Milky Way. And then we had that competition. So no, actually, Anu's reign, the Raza El reign, began 66 billion years ago. Yes, because that's the last time that the competition was held. 66 billion years ago is when his reign began. And it's going to last 360 million times 9. Okay? Are the Greys white people from the future praying to save their race? No, some of them are. Because, you know, some Greys, they didn't begin as Greys. Some Greys began with our form, human form. And they went through what's called radiation poisoning and start looking more like Greys. Like people who you call Asgardians, who they give you the Thor movie about Odin, Thor and all that shit. They now look like Greys, but they never always used to look like that. They went through radiation poisoning in them wars. And they're on our side. They fight against these demons. They vibrate up to the 8th density and shit. Yeah. Some white people, yeah. Because remember this, yeah. Everything happens on the spiritual plane first, which means that all of this has already happened. Like we already beat the Cabal. We already removed the Illuminati from Earth. Everything's happened already. But on the physical plane, there's a delay because we have what's called time. But when you go into that realm, there's no time. Past, present, and the future is all happening at the same, parallel. Do you understand? But there's a delay here. So we've already won. And that's why you have to understand, your governments working the way they do, because they know they've already lost, because they got time lensing technology. So they've already seen their end, how it's going to end, and they're doing everything they can to try and change it, shift the goalposts. What if we do this? What if we do that? Can we win if we do this? Can we win? There's no way for them to win. It's already been lost. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me retract what I was saying. Oh, the grace. Yeah. So now, some people, yeah, on this earth here, yeah, because in the future, when the people who are supposed to be picked up and taken back to Iluin, the new heavens, because remember, we're a diaspora species, so we ain't even supposed to be here in these neck of the woods. We're supposed to be with our people, but we're scattered all over this bitch. So that's why the Nibiru has to come and pick up its people and take us back to new heaven. That's what this shit was all about, what they're spooking you out with religion. They've changed the shit. But if you take out all the dogma and all the bullshit, say, okay, now I understand why the Anunnaki's coming here for their people and that. Because we're not going to stay here. We're going to the new heavens, man. We got super earths and shit that make this shit look crap. Do you understand what I'm saying? Holographic technology where we can come and scan your whole house in a couple minutes, and every molecule that makes up your house, we can recreate that shit over there. Bam! Now we got a hologram house over there. Do you know what I'm saying? This planet's really nothing. You understand? But the people who stayed here when all that shit started happening, the meteor showers, the fucking, what's it called? Mass coronal ejection, when the sun froze out its things and that. A lot of them people who stayed here, white people who would be trapped here, and some of them trying to live underground and shit, like they show you this in the Chronicles of Riddick, yeah, they got the radiation poisoning. You understand? They became sick. You understand what I'm saying? So you've got a bunch of greys right now who came back from they're time travelers. They've come from the future, and they are white people. They when the American government and that catch them and quiz them, they're like, yo, I mean, we're humans. We was like you. But we fucked up. We're coming from the future because this is where it began for them. You see, right now, where we are now with scamdemic and nanotechnology and AI and Neuralink, and they're going down that road. They're going left with this shit, like I told you. So certain ones of them from the future is come back to try and stop this shit, to try and warn them, yo, this is not the way we need to go. We're at the crossroads. This is how we lost our shit and that and became like these greys. So yeah, they have certain ones of these greys that didn't start like that. These are the Mzungu motherfuckers from the future who are trying to come back to save their fertility and to save their race. So that's a real talk, what you said there. But not all of them. There's, like I said, there's over 72 different types of greys. Not all of them are like that. That's a small section of the greys. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Is there any more questions, guys? And y'all are coming with some good questions too. So 66 billion years ago was when Raza his reign began. Yeah. So he's not even through one cycle of his reign yet. That's like, if we say 66 million years ago, he's still got 300 million years just in the first fucking cycle. Like, you see when we have presidents and they have one term, and some of them might have 2 terms. Imagine a president with 9 terms, and 1 term is 360 million years. So if I said to you 66, I'm talking millions instead of billions. 360 million years is 1 cycle. So that means 360 million years is 1 cycle. So it would take 9 cycles is something like 1 billion years. President for 1 billion years. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, so they're trying to save their race, man, because they stop having babies and shit, and that's already started. This started in 2018, like I told you. The Mzungu in America, they brought in them think tanks, and they did that study that says that Mzungu people ain't replacing themselves nowhere on the planet. There's nowhere on Earth that Mzungu people, the women are having more than 2.7 or whatever number it is babies to replace the population. The population is not being replaced. So that means they're already started on that track of becoming infertile. Do you understand? And now they're dealing with this artificial insemination and sperm banks. And the people that do this are people that are not fertile, because we don't need that shit in Africa or in Asia or in South America or in indigenous America. We don't need sperm banks or fucking artificial insemination. Or we fertile. We having babies even when they're killing us. Do you understand? Nobody else is not replacing themselves. Asian people is replacing themselves. Black people is replacing themselves. Do you understand? But they're not replacing themselves. So they're already gone down that track of all this modern culture, processed food, poison air, affects them more than anyone else because they got the weakest genetics. They're at the end of their genetics. They're not at the beginning of the genetics. The beginning is this, melanin. When it dies, it goes pale. If something dies, a corpse, and you leave it there and it goes through rigor mortis, what color does it go? It starts having that white film on it. It goes pale. It becomes pale because it's dying. Do you understand what I'm saying? Brother, I'm new to all this info you're sharing. Do you have a video of your own? This is Empress Lee, 75 Lee. Do you have a video of your own to recommend which explains things from the beginning? I've got a video on here called The Theory of Everything. That video sort of kind of gives you an everything perspective. But in essence, I wouldn't advise you to look... you just said, let me read that question again, because since yesterday with Louise's interview, I'm reading questions wrong. I noticed when I was watching it back. Do you have a video of your own to recommend which explains things from the beginning? Yeah, watch The Kingdom of God. The Most High. The one that says the Most High. Is that what it's called, people? The Most High God. And it's got in brackets Anu. I think it's about 3 previous to this one. I'll tag it in here for you. I'll reply to what you said on here and tag you it on here, because I think that would be the best one for you to start from to get a full grasp of what we're speaking about. Because if this is new to you, this video may be a bit I can understand what you're saying. If it's new to you and you've not watched like the Kingdom of Anu and the Anunnaki Dissected and all of them videos, it may be a bit difficult for you to get the full gist of what I'm saying here. So I advise you to go back to them. The Anunnaki Dissected, 2024 BC, where it speaks about Enki and Enlil and what happened in 2024 BC. There's the Kingdom of God, which is the first part of the Kingdom of Anu, and then there's the War in the Skies. Watch all of them previous ones. There's about 4 we did to build up into this as to why I'm doing this question and answer. And shout out to the guys from the Telegram group who told me to do this live, because like I said, you learn best when you dictate how you want to learn. Like, ask the questions that you want to know the answer for and stuff. You will learn better like that. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, Empress, that would be my advice to you. You should be able to find them easy on my page when you go on there. All right. So yeah, Anu is not this God, bigot God that punishes people because they don't want to obey him or listen to him. He gave you the rules, man. You know what the thing is. Yeah, you have free will. This is a free will, well, a limited free will universe, because I say limited because there's consequences for going against galactic law. So it's not like you're just free to do what the fuck you want. But you are, but you got to pay for the consequences, because them shits there is set in stone, so to speak. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily God, this bigger God that they give you in religion that wants to punish people and kill people and that's not it, man. You understand? The only way the Anunnaki interfere with the evolutionary chain on Earth is if that evolutionary chain affects other beings. What if it's just humans killing humans? Yeah, we can kill each other off. They don't give a shit. We can kill all of us, black, white, brown, Chinese, mixed race, old, young, yo, kill yourselves. But from the moment what we do here on Earth starts jeopardizing other beings, like on Venus or in another dimension, yo, you broke galactic law. And when it became like that for us, you got to go back to the Hiroshima bomb. They nearly cracked the surface of our Earth and split it in half. They're not going to tell you that in school. They don't tell you that in the mainstream media. We humans, we nearly split this Earth in fucking half. And with that being said, that nuclear bomb affected different dimensions And with that being said, that nuclear bomb or hydrogen bomb, Hiroshima shit that they dropped, yeah, that shit there, yeah, if Earth gets mashed up, then it affects Venus, and then it affects Mars, then it affects Jupiter, then it affects fucking everything fucks up. It's like this is a watch, right? If I open the face of this watch, there's like wheels that touch other wheels, and the whole thing works as a machine. So if one piece of that fucking machine messes up, the whole dynamics of this watch is off. It's fucked until I fix that. It could be the littlest piece like this, yeah. Being that this Earth is like the main planet in this solar system here. If you fuck up this Earth here, if we mashed up this Earth, we mashed up everybody else's Earth in this neck of the woods, and maybe even in this outside of this neck of the woods, because it's going to have repercussions. So like I said, there's beings on Venus, there's beings on Mars, there's beings on every fucking planet. Not because we can't see them, because we're not a little third density, and they might be up in fifth or in sixth. So when we go there, it's like we're staring at nothing. This shit's barren. Everybody there probably staring at us like, who the fuck is this dude? Where's he come from? Do you understand what I'm saying? But if we jeopardize other beings, then it's peak. And so when we did that with the Hiroshima thing, that's when they said all of these UFOs started, this whole UFO phenomenon started. Roswell, all of this shit. Like, hold on. Rendlesham Forest. Rendlesham Forest in England is our version of Roswell. That's an army thing. These fucking UFOs turned up on the army and had the army pissing themselves down. And they had it on camera and everything like that. Fuck in this forest. Yo, Rendlesham Forest. That's our version of Roswell. But you had all of these, man. Hundreds of thousands. And they was going to your government saying, yo, what the fuck are you, man, doing here? You can't be doing this thing. They've had to go into inner earth and have meetings with them Dunakil and stuff like, yo, what's going on the surface? Y'all need to split this shit. We don't have to put an end to this shit. Do you understand? And then demons come as well. Yeah, man, let's do this and do that. So it's like a tug of war being fought over the earth. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the Anunnaki will never intervene with humans until humans take responsibility for themselves. I keep telling people, I'll post a forum link for Telegram after, yeah. I keep telling people, like, humans need saving from humans. They don't need saving from greys. They don't need you can say the reptilians, yeah, they fucking with us. But ultimately, we made that decision. Like, you have to invite Dracula in. Reptilians can't just come to the planet and take your shit over. They have to suggest, like, woo, yo, come over here on this side, rude boy. We got everything going on over here. And then these Mzungu, who like to dabble in shit, like, yo, I'm messing with these demons, Satan worship. And they start worshipping him and doing rituals and bringing these demons in this realm. So the avatars, because they've already created avatars for these demons. They walk in earth here as NPCs. And from the moment demons get free, they say, yo, I'm jumping in my man. Or I'm jumping in this girl here. Do you understand? They want to come have sex. They want to drink. They want to do all of that shit there. So the Anunnaki is not going to come to Earth and save humans from humans until humans decide to say, no more. We're not having it no more. The moment enough of us say, yo, we're not having this no more. And I'm not just saying just moan at the TV. I'm talking about we stand on this shit now. We ain't fucking playing ball. I'm not voting. You understand? I'm not working to big up this system here. I'm detaching myself from the matrix. When enough of us do that, yeah, that's when the Anunnaki will say, okay, now you niggas is worthy. Because these other niggas be messing up the whole shit, but we feel like they can't come here. And you see, it's tricky because the reptilians are tricky too. You know what they did? What they do, they don't just come and invade your planet. The greys that they've conquered, they send the greys. So when the greys come and the Mzungu start, okay, we'll make a treaty with these greys and stuff. They don't know they're making a treaty with these reptilians. The greys will go on all nice, like, it's just technology trade-off and whatnot, and rare. And then, okay, deal's done. Yo, reptilians. Now the greys call their big brothers. Yo, come in, man, we've done the thing. So now the reptilians come. The reptilians haven't invaded. They've been invited here by the greys. So the Galactic Confederation can't really say, well, you reptilians, you went and fucked up the thing. Because the way how the law works, there's loopholes, just like in our law system, where it's like, okay, they're not having the full karma. Because really it's the greys and the Tamahu invited them in. So it's like like, yo, what do we do? And this is the first time where it's got to that point where it's like, bastard, it's a stalemate. Because humans are so dumb in keeping up this bullshit that's going on the earth, yeah, and they ain't really invaded. They got a bit smart where there's like, yo, if anything, it's the Greys who invaded. It's not us. We was invited here. So the whole thing is a mess. And a lot of people keep thinking God's just going to come and save humans when humans are just detrimental to themselves. Humans are a liability. No aliens, not even our creators, don't want even, I don't even want to mess with them humans, you know. You humans are like animals. You act retarded. We listen to music that talks about killing and we bop our head. Yeah, yeah, I shot the nigger in the face. Yeah, I fucked this bitch. Yeah. Like we drink, we go into this sex thing like animals and stuff. So a lot of these higher beings look at us like, yo, I don't really want it. It's like you looking at a Tasmanian devil in Australia in the outback. You don't want to fuck with that Tasmanian devil. You might as well put protection on and shit or tranquilize that bastard to fuck with him and put him in a cage or something. Because as far as you're concerned, he's dangerous. And they know you better than you. So you might be only using 10% of your brain, but they know you better. They don't want nothing to do with you. Anyway, let me go. Can you please explain your belief system? I don't have belief system, yeah? I speak what I know and I know what I speak and leave the rest, but I'll try and go with what you're saying. Can you please explain your belief system? Belief systems is religion. On how we get to the 5D world, whether it's physical or spiritual alone. All worlds are physical up to the 9th dimension. The 9th dimension, you go into the etheric realm. Do you understand? The 9th plane. And black people, we have 9 chakras. We don't have 7. Muzungu people have 7 chakras. So most people talk about 7. But we have 9 chakras because we're capable of going to that 9th dimension. Other people are not, unless they got permission. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, how we get to the 5D world is, if you go back to my live where I spoke about worlds within worlds, yeah, and the same one I'm talking about, the theory of everything, where I explain how our attention, yeah, is our currency. You're buying your future. When you concentrate on anything or focus on it, you're paying for that experience. So you're paying attention. It's currency, it's money. So in order for us to bring on the 5D world isn't going to create itself. It has to be created by us, our perception. So there has to be a massive paradigm shift, and it's already begun. This is what the whole thing's about, ultimately, underneath all of this shit. Because they ain't got no power, these Muzungu. They've only been given the power of prophecy, to fulfill prophecy. So where they might be thinking they're the power of the world and they're doing this, nah, nigga, you just fulfilling prophecy. Because like I said, there's a master plan underneath it, and it's for you to take back your perception. So each one of us and the thoughts we have contribute to the 5D earth, and the only difference between the 5D earth and this earth is vibration. Because when we're talking about D, that D is density or dimension, which means the rate of vibration. We're at a real slow frequency on Earth. The slower the frequency, the more dense, the lower the dimension. The faster the frequency, yeah, the higher the dimension. Do you understand? So the higher the vibration, the higher the spirituality, the happiness, the love. And in each dimension, you get a better perception of reality on the 4th dimension than you do on the 3rd, and on the 5th than you do on the 4th. The higher you go, the more of this mystery of what this experience is it's easier for you to discover. Do you understand the jewels of it? So for us to get to 5D, what we need to be doing is what we're doing right now. We're already doing it. We're tuning into the things that we want. Not just because we just watching the TV just because, or we're just watching the news just because, or we're just watching the Matrix just because. You see, we already know the subliminals. So when we're paying now, we're paying for the validation that, okay, bam, okay, I can relate this to what I learned here, or what I learned here, or what I see in observable reality. So now you become the Matrix builder. You become the creator, because the subliminal's gone. The subliminal seduction's finished. So now you've took back your power. You're in the pilot seat. And when enough of us do that, yeah, we will be creating the 5D world. We will bring it in. I shouldn't even say creating. We're creating it now. We will just bring it in. It just like, yo, it's reached that boiling point. Yo, we don't want this government no more. Like, things will just change. Do you understand? So if you ask me, that's the best way for us to bring in the 5D. Because remember, Anu put a piece of us in all of his creation. The first Anu. He blew a piece of himself in all of his creation. That's why in the Bible it says, and God blew his spirit into man, and man became a living soul. I think this is Genesis 2:7. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's Genesis 2:7. And then when you get to the Quran, they stole that shit. They say, yeah, Allah breathed his spirit into man, and man became a ruh, or a living soul in skin, in bashan, in skin. So they just stole that shit, stole their homework, the Jews' homework or the Christians' homework. Yeah, but they all saying that shit because it's for real. That means because a piece of the creator is in you, you have the power to create your own life. You have the power to create your own kingdom around you. But they robbed us of that shit in school. They never told us about this paying attention and paying for experiences and how we consciously create and how we unconsciously create. Yeah, so all these movies that we watch, we create them. We the people. We create Terminator because we watched it and we romanticized the bastard to the point where that shit's in society now. 10 years from now, you might go down the road and see a Ross Clark Terminator. It might happen 2 years from now. You understand? Or alien invasion. Or we create the shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? We bring that shit on because perception shapes reality. Perception is reality. That's why it shapes reality, because it is reality. So if we want to bring in the 5G world, we have to start really perceiving it. What is 5D? Like if I was to ask you, what is the 5D world? You said, how are we going to bring it in? What about if I asked you, okay, explain to me what the 5D world is? Like, make it vivid for yourself. What is it? It's a place of high spirituality. It's a place where we don't have no need for a bloody social media. Yeah? Because we're all telepathic and we're all connected on our own fucking mental internet. Yeah? I'm just giving you, like, some randoms. You understand? I'm not saying it's going to be like that. I'm just giving you randoms for you to create it yourself. Tell yourself what this 5D is and every day focus on it, because anything you can perceive, you can achieve. If you can see it and visualize it, just like a movie, yeah, that can move me and you to make that shit happen. You can achieve that shit. So that's really all we need to do, to the point where we could think all these people out of existence. That's how powerful humans are. We could literally sit down at home without going to riot, without shedding blood, without going and having a war, and just tune out. Just like Neo plugs that thing up. Blop. Okay, I'm out of the Matrix, mate. Game over. There's no more Matrix. I'm on the fucking ship, mate. So all we need to do is plug out. Take our attention away from BBC and oh, they're gonna bring this vax, or they're gonna do this, or that fuck they. Yeah? I'm not saying don't pay no attention, because you gotta stay aware and pay attention for the right reasons, but I'm saying don't get sucked into that shit and burn up all your magic, because this is magic, this attention. It's magic, and it's more valuable than money. So if I can't afford, I can't afford them box of cigarettes, you know, I'm broke. Yo, my attention's broke. I can't afford BBC Rude Boy. You understand? I can't be watching that shit there. I can't afford to be watching fucking EastEnders, or I'm just giving you examples. You understand? You direct where your perception and where your attention is going and build that. You believe that you can build your own future, whether it's success in the business, up to the point of, yo, I can contribute to throwing these motherfuckers off the planet. Every thought that we have creates ripples in space-time. Even just our thoughts, even just us having this discussion on YouTube now. All of that adds to this fucking unified whole of experiences. That means we're part of the information war, because we're out here relaying certain information and untangling certain information, while other people are out here putting out bullshit and putting out misinformation and putting out disinformation. So that means just the fact that we've sat down and put our attention to this, we're a part of that cause that's fighting against this fucking demiurge. So This here is bringing in the 5D. But what I'd say to you, make that shit vivid. Ask yourself, what is 5D to me? What does it mean to be in fifth density? Because I'll tell you this, when you go into Egypt and all our spiritual cultures, most of them cultures were vibrating at 5D at least. Do you understand? So it's not something that's going to be first time on earth. We've already been at 5D and shit. We fell from grace. Do you understand what I'm saying? We came down to this 3D shit till we trapped in this 5 cents prison. So all we have to do is escape your own prison. This 5 cents prison, believe that that shit's real. I use the word believe. Believe is okay if you have facts, but belief systems is religions. Yeah? Stick to the facts. Have a fact system. Fuck belief system, because facts replace beliefs. And if you don't know, say it. Like if you ask me a question and I don't know, I'm gonna say here as a teacher, you know what? I don't know. So I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Or maybe if you find that answer, you could enlighten me. See, I'm not one of them people who are trying to come here and put myself on a pedestal and trying to be some kind of Malachi York or whoever else. I'm a helper of Anu. I have been in many incarnations helping discern information. So it's very comfortable for me, as you can see, to sit down and have this conversation without having to look at notes or books. I deliberately didn't prepare no notes for this because we're doing a question and answer. And this is the first time I'm doing it on YouTube. So I thought, fucking notes. I normally got my bullet points and I love it. But for a question and answer, I don't want no bullet points. I just want to liaise with you. So it's all a perception thing. Perception changes matter, and all of us have got mental furniture, from whether it was our Christian background or our schooling or our Islamic background or this. And there's stuff in that, Christian, Islamic, and whatever other background, that is not bad. It will be a jewel for you. It will help you understand things better where you are now. Certain parts and certain other parts will trap you in that shit. You understand? So you have to be the one now to sort out this mess, because we've all got this mess. You understand? Of misinformation. And what you'll find is the more you can just take out, spend more time getting rid of the misinformation first before trying to learn everything. Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to say, okay, I have to rid myself of all this shit I've been taught. You understand? Some of the stuff I learned, I might not accept it at first. I might say that's some bullshit, or yo, that sounds this, or but more and more, maybe 3 years after, I've had to turn around and say, bastard, well, that shit's right. I can see why that shit's right now. So it's not where you are right now, you might not perceive everything in the right way, but if you trust in the process, that if I commit to this process and this path, yeah, it will get me to what I'm asking for now, which is mental clarity, which is the ability to dissect all these doctrines. Like I tell people, I had to be on this path for 25 years for me to be able to boss up a pastor or boss up a rabbi or boss up an imam. Yeah, I can switch to the Arabic for the imam and bust him up till his eyes open. Bastard, this nigga knows Quran more than me, and I'm not a Muslim. Or I can do it to a Hebrew. I'll bust you up with that Torah. Do you understand? We can go to the Aramaic Hebrew. We can even go to Phoenician and Canaanite and bust his ass up with his own shit. Or you can do the same with a fucking Christian, his Bible, or a Hindu and his Vedas. But you have to go on the path. Yeah, it's not a gimmick thing. A lot of these guys, when they come off the camera, they're not who they are on the camera. You can't ask them a question without them having it written down or put somewhere. Or you understand what? Because they're not real. But I want you to know I'm really with you on this journey. I'm not above you. I'm not in front of you. I'm not a leader. I'm your brother. Do you understand? And I'm sharing my notes with you. Do you understand? All of you who tune in and connect, we're going to share notes. But is there any more questions on the Most High Anu? Because that's what the gist of this was. Okay, so you say the 5D for you is beautiful, peaceful, health, love. Okay, so you started. That's a brilliant start. Build, continue adding on every day. When you get something in your head, add that shit onto your list and have a list of what the 5D world means to you, or make a vision board of it. If you see a beautiful scene, picture in a magazine, and say, yo, that's 5D shit, cut that shit out and stick it on a board. And stick it somewhere where you have to look at that, you have to see that shit every day. Whether it's somewhere near where you put your head down to sleep, so you have to see it every day, or on your door, every time you leave your house, you have to see that image. Vision boards are very powerful, but you can do it with words too. Do you understand? Let me go on, yeah? Oh, message you tapped in, people, look. Remember, guys, don't feel like embarrassed for asking questions that you might think, oh, this is going to sound dumb if I ask. There's no dumb questions. Do you understand? And I know I speak forcefully, so if I've answered any questions where I may have came across a bit forceful, I'm not directing it at any of you. Yeah, I just sometimes I'm very animated and people take it the wrong way. They're like, bastards, stay away from him. He speaks with his hands and So if I've done that, I apologize. Yeah, we love you all, man. Is there an enemy? Yeah, yourself, your lower self, because your lower self operates off fear, and fear is an illusion. You understand? So the enemy to me is fear and lies, because truth is your friend. Do you understand? And that comes from, when I say enemy, the only enemy you should be concerned about is you, your lower self. Because if you don't have no enemies on the inside, no enemies on the outside can affect you, man. Hold me to that shit. That's an African proverb. If you don't have no enemies on your inside, all your broken parts inside and unhealed shit, and you healed everything, and you've got inner peace, and you don't have no enemies inside, no enemy outside is even worth thinking about. And the only thing to fear is fear itself. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Talisha. What is our creation story from an African perspective? Our creation story from an African perspective is what I'm telling you. If you go into the oldest creation story in Africa comes from Kush, because that's the oldest civilization on record in Africa, proper super civilization. And if you go into Kushite records, which I've spent an eternity deciphering, they'll give you what's called the creation story. They call it in Kemet the creation story, but it's actually got three parts. You got the Heliopolitan creation story, which is based on Heliopolis, or the city of Anu, which is based around Atum Ra, how he came out of the Nun as the first Necha, or the first principle. Yeah, and I've explained this down to the atom represented hydrogen, and it represented atoms and molecules and shit. That's our creation story from the Nile Valley. And then if you go to Memphis, they've got the Memphite theology, which means each region focuses on a different aspect of the story. So when you go to the Memphite theology, they don't focus on Atum. They focus here, these priests, on Ta, who is Enki. So their creation story is based, it's not different, it's just a different aspect of the story. And then when you go to Thebes or Waset in the south, closer to Kush, and Napata and Meroe, they're going to focus on the Amun, or the hidden one, meaning coming from the allness. And their creation story focuses more on the all aspects of it. So our creation story is all of them. And also the Dogon creation story, when the Dogon come and tell you about the reptilians and Amma and Urugu and these Nomos and Sirius, that's fucking our creation story. So we've got different aspects of our creation story, and it's only when you learn them and see, bastard, these don't even conflict, these all go together. Even the Sumerian tablets, it's all a continuation. It's a symphony in stone. It's like a frozen symphony in stone. When you're reading them hieroglyph, if you take time to learn your hieroglyph and your cuneiform and Semitic languages and that, it's like a musician thing. It's like music, man. That's just been frozen in stone, man. For us, remember, we ain't created paper, and we thought we didn't want no Ross Clark paper. People can rip up paper and shit, and men lie. So let's stick this in the hardest rock on earth. That some of them rocks, we can't even cut that shit today with lasers, like granite and diorite. We can't cut that shit today. You need diamond tips to cut certain stone and shit. So this stone's so hard, we're gonna carve this truth 6 inches into these stones, yeah, and have a frozen symphony in stone. So there are creation stories. Everything ancient, because remember, Christianity is not an ancient religion. Christianity came around in 325 AD with Constantine, so they not even have the right to speak about nothing BC. Worse for Muslims, they're yesterday religion. They don't know nothing about ancient times. All the shit they say is a belief. Your shit was created the other day. You ain't even an ancient religion. Yeah? Hebrews, they're just barely ancient. Greeks and stuff, they're just barely ancient. They just came right at the end when the writing was going up. They stuck themselves in. That shit was already ended, the ancient world. You understand? So all this shit we're talking about today, that's not ours. That's not our creation story. This is some new shit that they came up with since 1 AD and that. All this Roman, Greco-Roman crap, all this Muslim crap and that. In order to, our creation stories are BC, or on the other side of the timeline. Yeah, that go back to the Zet Tepi, or the beginning, that can talk to you about string theory and torsion theory and Big Bang theory and quantum theory and astrophysics and atomic theory, all of that shit there. You understand? That's our creation stories, and it's not one simple. In the beginning, God said, "Let there be light," and there were 7 days. And our shit, so you're gonna take you a lifetime to digest all the high information that is inside of our teachings, and you'll see it more and more when you come out of religion and start going back to the ancestors. You start seeing how vast, how massive the ancestors' scope was on so many different topics. We've only just touched quantum physics today. We only just found out about Sirius B and C today, like the last 20, 30 years. Do you understand? We've been on this shit for thousands of years, man. Going back to 10,500 BC, and ain't never been wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? So our creation story and our truth and our healing is in the BC shit. It's not in this stuff today, or Islamic Moors and Moorish Science Temple. I'm not saying you can't use them schools to learn all the jewels, but you're not supposed to stay that for life. You're supposed to take that school and then move on. If you don't move on, then you're dead. Because knowledge is supposed to be living. They call it the living wisdom of Egypt, of ancient Kemet. That's what white people call it. The living wisdom of ancient Kemet. Because that shit's alive. That shit is being revealed every day. It's correct everywhere. You could go on the moon and it's correct. You could be talking to draconians and it's correct. You could be talking to fucking Hindus, it's fucking correct. You understand what I'm saying? You could talk to the reptilians, they'd have to be like, bastard, before I eat you, I gotta let you know your shit. Yeah, so our stuff is the BC stuff. Our stuff is not in no Christian church or no Christian Bible. It's not in no Jewish Bible, and it's not in no Muslim Quran. I'm not saying some of our truth is not in there, but that's not our organic, pure orange juice. That shit's the dilute. It's got all this water in it. Some of that shit don't even taste like orange juice no more. That shit tastes more like water. We got to get back to the pure fucking 100% orange juice, which is in the Nile Valley and in places like America with the Olmecs and the Mayans. And that's our shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so that's where our shit lies. The creation story is interesting and needs to be another live, because that needs, you're definitely right, because I have a book here, yeah, that is fucking deep. Let me show you it, yeah. And I need to do it. I need to take some notes, make my bullet points, and do it for you. Hold on, I got so many books, yeah, they're all over the place. So let me track down where I put, yeah, this. You see this? The Beginning, yeah, by Dr. York. This here blew my head off when I was a Muslim. When I was in that, didn't know certain things, and I was like, yo, I know the Quran like the back of my hand, but there's so much questions I've got as to the how and where and why, yeah, but this and blah, blah, blah. And yo, this book here, just the other day I said, yo, I need to swallow this here again, and the Mennonite children, because this tells you things like, when they say 7 days of creation, yeah, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it weren't no 7 days. Like when you go to the Hebrew, the word that's used for day actually means age. And the age that they're talking about when they say an age in Hebrew means 7,000 years. So when they're saying 7 days of creation, they was talking about 7 stages of creation, and each stage was 7,000 years. So 7 times 7,000 is 49,000 years. So that 7 days of creation was 49,000 years. Now let's go back to one of our other stories, the Sumerian story. They said the Anunnaki project to breed Kadmon and Nekeba, the real Adam and Eve of the Hindus, yeah, because we was already on Earth. But anyway, the Kadmon and Nekeba of the Hindus, That shit took 42,000 years, and then God rested, and they called it a Sabbath. So there's one more 7,000 year period after the 42,000 years. That's where we are now. We are coming to the end of that 7,000 year period. So it's a madness. And that was the last upgrade that was done by the Anunnaki, was 49,000 years ago on Homo sapiens. And if you go into your chematology and that, they tell you things like Tahuti introduced writing 54,000 years ago. So it's lining up with the same period, 54, 49. It's around the same fucking, we can spare the discrepancy. So we can say, okay, around that time, there was an upgrade where humans started getting more with speech and stuff. And they link it back to, yo, the reign of Danetta. This is before the pharaohs. Before the pharaohs ruled, the Anunnaki ruled on earth over humans. So in Egypt, they tell you the length of each of these Anunnakis' reign. In the Sumerian tablets, they tell you the length for some of these kings' reign. Some of these kings are reigning for like, remember one Shah is 3,600 years. 3,600 years is one Shah. The Sumerian records are telling you, yo, this king ruled for 9 Shahs. So that's like 9 times 3,600. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. For an earth that's been around so long, I need to know who. You understand this, yeah? This earth has been reset and remodeled at least 4 times. So this earth, they tell you, science, official science tells you the earth is 4.5 billion years old. Bullshit. We already talking 66 billion, 90 billion, 76 trillion years. Black people themselves go back 76 trillion years. And they're telling you this earth is only 4.5 billion years old. They tell you this universe, this is according to Mzungu, you can hold me to this. They say, okay, the universe is 13.6 billion years old since the Big Bang. Bullshit. Yeah. This earth, yeah, one of the remodeling periods that we spoke about on a couple of our lives was 24 billion years. It was when Nibiru crashed into Tiamat, when this earth was the size of Jupiter. And Nibiru crashed into it, and the bottom half shattered and exploded. Today, that shattered part, we call it the asteroid belt. The ancestors called it the hammered out bracelet, because it's like a bracelet between the inner planets and the outer planets. So you've got a bracelet of just debris, rocks and shit, where scientists is like, hold on, there was a planet here. You know how Mzungu are. They do all that forensics. They're like, yo, there's supposed to be a planet here. What happened? That goes back to our story with the Nibiru crash. There was a reptilian planet there called Maldek, right there where the asteroid belt is. And Nibiru smashed that shit up, finished off these reptilians' planets. That's why they're so pissed off. They lost their beloved planet Maldek. They was pissed. You understand? And it also affected, I said Venus last time, it wasn't Venus. They affected, what's it called? Neptune. And a lot of beings died on Neptune, which is a water planet. And it also affected Earth, because one of them satellites that travels in Nibiru's, because it's got its own solar system. It's got Nemesis, its own sun, and then it's got 7 satellites or moons or warships around it. So one of them warships whacked into the Earth and smashed off the bottom half. So they had to reform the Earth. That's where your Bible starts. In the beginning, the Earth was formless and void. That's not no fucking beginning. That's when they said, okay, yo, we smashed up this planet. We're going to have to fix this planet. So they've left out like billions of fucking years. And they're telling you Genesis. It means the beginning. No, it doesn't. Genesis means genes of Isis. Genes, Isis. Genesis. Genesis. They use Isis genes, black people's genes, and they remodeled the fucking planet. But we don't know this, because we're just going, listening to the pastor or the imam, and they've been paid to keep us in these fucking doctrines. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're right. I agree with you. I need to do a live on creation, because remember, creating and making is not the same thing. You see, the Anunnaki, late of Enki and them, they didn't come and create humans. They made humans. Bara in the Hebrew. Bara means to procreate or to make, fashion. That means there's something here. Like if I say you cook me dinner, you can't cook me dinner from nothing. You have to have ingredients. So you're going to make me dinner using these ingredients. So to make something is to have ingredients. When the Anunnaki came here, they had hominids, animals, stuff was already here. They just fucked about with it. upgraded it, downgraded it, experiment with it, spliced it, blah, blah, blah. That's making, bara. But creation, kalak, that's a different word in Hebrew. Kalku, kalk, creation, like that, that's supposed to be the sound of the Big Bang. When the Big Bang banged, it was more like a ka sound. You understand? So when they say in Arabic and Hebrew, kalak, or kalaku, or kalku, that means creation. And in science, I'll just say this. Energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. So even when you're talking about creation, yeah, it's kind of like that's a whole discussion in itself, because energy cannot be created. Energy don't even need a creator. Energy is. It's a part of the all. Energy is, and it never ends. If I heat up the water, it turns into water vapor, but it's still in the air, even if I can't see it. If I cool down the shit and start the process of condensation, that water that's in the air as water vapor will turn back into water and fall back down. Do you understand? So that water, you can't get rid of it. It's never wasted. Nothing in creation is wasted. Everything is recycled. So even as a woman, when you get pregnant and you have that fetus in your baby, you understand? When you breathe and you've got these hairs in your nostril, the hair follicles in your nostril, when you breathe air, this air's got dust in it, right? Dust particles and whatnot. But it's also got human flesh in it. Why do I say that? Because when you bury somebody and that body decomposes, that body is recycled. Like maggots or whatever will come eat it. Everything will go back and contribute to something else. There's particles that go in the air. These certain particles, when you breathe them in for 9 months, that coats your embryo in flesh. So I say that to say somebody else already had this flesh that my mum was breathing in when I was in her womb for 9 months, and she breathed in the particles, and that's why you get sinuses when you're pregnant. And so all that recycled flesh that other people have had, now I have some of it on me. As nothing here is yours. Everything here is a part of the all. It's recycled. So nothing is ever finished. That means nothing is created. It's always been here. It's always been in existence. It might not have existed in this form, but it's always been here, and it's always going to be here. So there's no creation and there's no destruction. All of that shit's an illusion, because whatever's underneath that shit has always been here. It is. It always was, always is, always will be. But Mzungu's not going to give you this, because they don't have the intellect to be fucking with these higher mysteries. They have to give you assumptions, which means, okay, we believe this, or it could be this, or maybe this is how the Egyptians did. Notice the words that they use when they're giving you this stuff. They always tell you that it's really just an assumption. We're just guessing. We don't know what we're saying. So it could be, or maybe this, or scientists think this. Do you understand? But there's nothing concrete. Whereas when you go to ancestors, all of our shit is written in the concrete. That shit's concrete, literally. Yeah, but you have to go and test it for yourself. You have to learn it, yeah, to the point where now you can use it as a reference and say, okay, let me go and measure this up against what Muslims say, or let me go and measure this up against what fucking Einstein says with his laws of relativity and shit like that, or let me go and measure this up against Newton and his theory of gravity and shit like that, and see how it measures up. See, a lot of people don't do that. They just say, yeah, I'm a Muslim, that's it. They don't know shit about shit, but according to them, they're the only one that's true. Nothing else is true other than this Bible. Even though you ain't never even read shit. You ain't even read the fucking Bible. But anyway, nothing's true but the Bible. Yeah, that's how a lot of people are. Right, let me stay on scope. But shout out to Talisha for that question there. I'm telling you, I'm going to do that next. I'm going to take notes and I'm going to speak about creation, because I have a book here as well, I believe, called That's Melanite Children. Is that The Science of Creation? I'm sure it's somewhere anyway, The Science of Creation. Listen, I got books for days in this bastard place, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I've got a book called Science of Creation that goes in as well. So I'm going to, at some point, it probably won't be tomorrow. It might be. But I'm going to do that. Respect for that question. That was a really good question. Then it means our ancestors had a way to communicate with the higher beings through rituals or technology that we do not comprehend. Boom. See, now you're hitting the nail. Now you're taking me back. Remember what I said? This book is like a technology. What is this book? The Emerald Tablets. The Emerald Tablets is technology for you to get to your astral self, which astral is the same word as star. When you say star or astra, you're talking about cosmic shit. So your astral self is your cosmic self. Do you understand? So I say that to say this as well. When we speak about quantum physics and subatomic sciences, that is the other realm, or the ancestral realm, or the spiritual realm, or the Etheric realm. Do you understand? So our ancestors have been communicating with that side of existence since the beginning. So all the rituals you see us do as Yorubas, or as Afar tribe people, or as Senegalese, or as Mandingas, or as Igbos, there's certain rituals that we did that enabled us to communicate with the other side. So we could speak to ancestors and shit. As long as that ancestor lived a good life on this earth, we could access that ancestor and still get advice from that ancestor. He was, or she would speak to us from the other side. We could communicate. Yeah, and that's what scientists have just discovered now as to why they're doing quantum technology. That's an admittance that bastard, all this shit about spirituality and all of that shit, them Africans, I shouldn't say Africans, them Alkebulans, Tamarayans, Nubians, indigenous people said, yeah, was real. And now we're starting to know this shit. The veal. What do you think CERN and all this shit is about? Trying to get to that other side and take the fucking barrier down between this realm and the next realm. Like, yes, that's a right knowledge statement that you put there, and that's come from Dark Net Cloud. Salute to that question there. Well, it's not really a question, that statement there. Yeah, our ancestors had a way to communicate with the higher beings through rituals. Everything they did as a part of our spiritual system, not belief system. We had a spiritual system because it was tangible. Tangible means we could see that shit working. We could see it. We didn't have to believe the shit. Belief system means you can't see nothing. You don't know whether it's right or wrong. So you're forced to believe or not believe. But we had a spiritual system that was tangible. So we didn't have to wait for no one to float out the clouds and none of that shit. We were seeing that shit in real time, seeing the effects of it, the benefits of it, how it raised us up, how it made us beautiful, powerful, and we was living in our most highest self. Yo, that shit's tangible for us. We always been communicating with that other side. So you're correct. Yeah? You're correct, Dark Net Cloud. But yeah, if you guys ain't got no more questions about Anu, yeah? Okay, I missed comprehensive. Thanks for that reminder. Let me see if I can find that question. Comprehensive. Thanks, Talisha. Celestial Samurai, how much longer do you think the elites have to do what they're doing? Till 2030. That's why we wrote that part 2 of Coronation, which is COVID-19 84, Agenda 2030. That explains how their time runs out in 2030 for real. And they're trying to get off the planet before that. No, I've read that. Where is it? Right at the top, this question. I can't see that question. I've gone right to the top. Let me just scroll back down quickly. No, I answered that. Yes, sorry, us Mennonites are their children. I found your question. When you say there, are you talking about the gods, the Anunnakis? I'm talking about the Riskians, Anu and them. Yeah? We're their children. We are the children of, and you can find that in John 10:34, they asked Jesus in their Bible, their myth-made Bible, are you God? He says, hold on, ain't it written in your law? Meaning Torah, yeah? He says, ain't it written in your Torah? This is a Torah. Look, I'm going to show you. This is from the real Aramaic, yeah? So this is a Torah right here, yeah? As to why I bust up rabbis and priests like I do, because I had that since 2001. Yeah, when I first stepped out of Islam, like, yo, I want a Torah, like a real translation of the Hebrew and shit, because I was basic on Hebrew. I could read basic Hebrew because I can read basic Arabic. So I was like, okay, I need to take it another notch up now. I need to like study Hebrew more. So I went and bought that for £35 from the All Eyes on Egypt store in London. I remember traveling, getting that shit. It was a journey, yeah. But what I was saying was, when you look in there, it also says it in Psalms 82:6. King David says, yo, you're just, all of you are sons and daughters of the Most High. And then there Jesus says, is it not written in your law? What is, it's like he's saying, why are you asking me that if I'm God? You're fucking God. You're going to do greater things than I do. You understand what I'm saying? So it means that all of us, yeah, are the children of the gods. And you know how you know? If God says, let us make man in our image and our likeness, yeah, ask the Christian, the Muslim, or the Jew, which one of us looks like God? Is it Jadefre? Is it you, Empress Azali? Is it Talisha? Is it white folk? Is it black folk? You understand? Is it Indian folk? Yeah? One of us has to look like God, because we don't all look the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if God made a certain human look like him, then that human would have to be different than every other human. Which human on the planet has only got this hair? Which human on the planet has only got this level of pigmentation? That means, okay, you're separate, you human. You must be in the image of God. Because the Tamahu, all their hair is the same. Asian man, white man, Chinese man, Puerto Rican man, fucking Australian man, all of their hair is the same. They look the same. If you take the color away, all of them people, you can't tell white man from Indian man. More time, they just look all the same. It's like just one template of human. So if out of all these groups, only one has this kind of woolly hair, and God keeps talking about sheep's wool in the Bible, and Jesus had hair like lamb's wool, and fucking, you're supposed to see that easy. We are the children of the Most High, and we are the children of nature, or the children of the all. Yeah? So the Most High is a child of the all, just like you are. There's no difference. Razael is a child of the Most High. You are a child of the Most High. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is a child of the all. You are a child of the all. Do you understand? But yes, genetically speaking, we are the sons and the daughters of the powerful ones who came to earth and left a legacy of civilization and spirituality and culture. We are their children. We are their representatives on earth. We're them on earth. When you see us, you see them. When you see them, you see us. Do you see what I'm saying? And some of us here on earth, our Anunnakis came from Sirius. Some of us here on earth, our ancestors came from Pleat. Some of us here on earth, our ancestors came through Orion. Some of us here on earth, our ancestors came straight from the high galaxy, Lyra. Do you understand? We've got different ancestry. When I say that to say, remember, the Anunnaki became a diaspora species. So when they left Lyra or Iluin and they came into all these different constellations, different groups came to Earth at different time. So you might get a group that comes from Sirius down into Egypt at a certain period. Then at a later time, you might get another group from a different star system that comes to Egypt. Or they might come to the Olmecs. Or they might go to Sumeria. Or you might get reptilians coming down in fucking Sumeria, in Chaldea. And then, you understand what I'm saying? So when you say, are we children of, yeah, in so many different ways. And it's left to you to track your ancestry. Like there's so many beings. It's not just Riskians. There's Dunakil. There's Herculeans. There's Centaurians. There's Procyon. All these people are melanated people, I'm calling, by the way. Do you understand? That come from the Riskians, but are different mixtures of them. So some of us, our ancestry, like what do they call them? The Herculeans, yeah? Shaq is one of them. His ancestry goes back to them Herculeans. They come to like from 7 to 10 foot tall, very muscular, big. His ancestry is different than mine. You understand what I'm saying? My ancestry, one side of my ancestry comes from Procyon. One side of my ancestry comes from Riskians. So another person, and my one part of my dad's ancestry has Draconian ancestry, straight like that. Do you understand? And then another person, they might have ancestry from Dunakil, like Somalians with the big forehead. Do you understand? Dunakil is their ancestry. So all of these are star people, different star people from the same genetic root. And this is why I say Anu has loads of different wives, because he had to make treaties and different beings for this kingdom. Do you understand? And all of our family is massive, and there's many branches in it. That's why in Matthew, Jesus says, listen, my father has many mansions. In my father's house is many mansions. He's talking about there's many different constellations and branches in our fucking family tree. And I'm not from down here. I'm from up there. That's what Jesus says. Jesus is saying I'm an alien because I'm not from here. I'm from up there. That means I'm an extraterrestrial. He told you in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so yeah, we definitely are the children of the Salafu, but it's left to you to step into that honor, because it's not something to be taken lightly and to just think, oh, the fact that you know that now means that you're responsible for doing more to bring yourself into your highest possible best version of yourself, because you know you are a child of the Anunnaki. And I'm not saying you know now because I answered you yes. You already knew the answer. Do you understand? You already knew that you was a child of the Anunnaki. You just wanted me to confirm it for you because you value and trust what I'm saying. But you already knew that. You understand what I'm saying? Most of you already knew that shit. Yeah. So when in the Bible it's saying, let us create man in our image and our likeness, yeah, that means one human on earth has to be looking different than every other bastard on the planet. And maybe that's why the police and the government and everybody trying to kill your ass, because you the child of the Anunnaki, the Dinge, the Daner, meaning the righteous ones of the rocket ships, not no fucking evil beings. Do you understand? And that's not to say some of us don't descend from evil beings, because we do. We got people with Vulcan ancestry here. We got people with fucking all types of evil ancestry here. Do you understand? And like I said, side of my dad's family has got evil genes in it. If you see some of my uncles, some of my aunties, I used to be appalled like, bastard, these are like the worst humans I've ever seen. When I went to the Caribbean and seen how dragonish some of my father's side of the family were. But then I understood him more, because my father's a very righteous man who, in this neck of the woods, he's a pioneer for bringing us into Black Panthers and Black Power and Elijah Muhammad. My dad was one of the first people to bring them that type of knowledge back here and tell people, yo, fuck all of that bullshit. This is what it's about. And so a lot of people in the community look up to my dad for that. But I'm saying, even in my dad's family, when I seen some of my aunties and uncles and shit, I was like, yo, this shit here is some evil thing. Brothers and sisters fighting over money, and sister throwing brother out the window over money and all types of shit. I was like, yo, this is some fucking evil shit. Just in the very way that they interact with each other. So some of us do have that mixed into our ancestry. And that's why it's so very important to understand who you are. Do you understand? Understand your own genetics. You understand? Because it may be the case that your genetics make you have a heavy meat diet. It's not just about everybody being vegan. If me and you don't have the same ancestry, and your ancestry is heavy meat eaters because it's a warrior thing and there's a lot of disagreeable and whatever, yo, you're gonna have a very hard time trying to be a vegan. Do you understand? There's not one template. Spirituality ain't this one template of bullshit. Spirituality is finding you and your truth, finding your identity and finding your truth and standing in it and being unapologetic about it. You have the right to stand in it, just as everybody else has the right to stand in their truth and in their best self. You get me? So yeah, because we are the children of the Most High, because we are, you see when they say son of God, they took that from the title in Egypt, Sarah, the pharaohs used the title Sarah, meaning son of Ra, or son of God, son of the sun God. They just took out the son, meaning like father son. They took out that part and said, okay, son of God, but they still kept in the son part, meaning because they say Jesus is the son of God, and then they put this great big halo behind his head. But you don't need that halo because you had the afro, and your afro stretches to the sun like plants. It defies gravity. It stretches its hands to the sun. You understand? Because the sun kissed you and chose you. You are the children of the sun. Fuck the children of Israel. I'm the children of the sun. That goes way before any Hebrew doctrine or anything. It kissed me and gave me this halo on my head. They have to draw a sun behind their head to make it look like some afro thing. The original halo was the afro. Because me and you, Nubian or Cushite, the people, the seers, we were those who knew, or the font of knowledge. Everybody had to come to Egypt to get taught about this shit. That's why in the Bible, half them prophets are going to Egypt. Even though they're trying to tell you Egypt's a pagan thing, Abraham went there, Isaac went there, Jesus grew up there, Moses grew up there. All of their main prophets is going to Egypt. Why is God sending them to this pagan country? You understand what I'm saying? They had to come to Egypt to learn the science of things. That's the font of knowledge, the Nile Valley, no matter what they tell you. Do you understand? So yes, we are the children of God. We are the children of the Son, because that was representative of God for us. If the Son chose us and kissed us while it's killing other people, I understand why they're trying to kill your ass and take your history and take your spot, because they're not you. You understand what I'm saying? When they look at you, they see God. When they look at you, they see Pharaoh Ramesses or Pharaoh Hatshepsut or Kendake Amonishiketo or Kendake Amaniris. They see these faces in you. They see Shaka Zulu when I might screw at them until I might afraid of your fire. They might be bastard. I seen Shaka Zulu and I don't like that nigga. You understand what I'm saying? All the ancestors are still being born now. We are them. We're the children of the Most High. We're the children of nature. We're the sons and daughters, the firstborn sons and daughters of the soil. Because all humans are sons and daughters of the soil. Yeah, but we're the firstborn sons and daughters of the soil. And that's why we get gifted like how we are gifted. Children of the gods. Is Anu a he or she? Is it the... If you go back to the beginning of this live, the fact that you're asking that question means you haven't seen the whole discussion, but the answer is in this live right here. Is Anu a he or she, or is it the entirety of creative force? The entirety of creating force, what Chinese call yin yang, we call that hu he. Yeah, in ancient Kemet, hu he, hu male, he female, or hua male, hia female. Today they say yin yang. And that same hu he, because the vowels are interchangeable, i.e. a o u, you can change the I to an A or to an E or to a Y. If you spin it round and change the vowel, you got Yahweh or Yahuwah in Hebrew. But for the answer, is Anu a male or female, I'd rather tell you to wind back and you'll get the answer. Yeah. And Talisha, why are you deleting questions, man? Just spit it out. I'm gonna hold out for one more question. Yeah, I think this is the longest video we ever did, and at the height we had 11 viewers, and I've not had 11 viewers on YouTube. And like I said, I don't have followers. I have people I connect with. Me and you, we're all like-minded people. You understand? So shout out to all of you guys for keeping me on this bastard YouTube for 2 rascal hours. I really enjoyed this question and answer. Yeah, we're gonna definitely have to do it again. What I'll do, because I used to do this when I was working on the Black History group on Instagram. I used to do a live, yeah, just present my live, and then I'll do a part 2, which is question and answer. So for the first live, we sit down, we discuss Anu, or we discuss creation or whatever. You guys, when you're watching that live, come with a paper and a pad. Take notes and also formulate questions so you can scrutinize. Yeah. And then on the part 2, all them notes that you took to format your questions, or you understand, fire them at me in the part 2. So because we've had such a good time doing this with the Anu thing, this question and answer, I'll put that format into all my lives now. So what we'll do next is a discussion about creation and the difference between creation and making. And then what we'll do in the part 2 is we'll we'll do it question. You'll be able to fire the questions away at me, and I might even do it to make it better. Just do it like the first hour I'll present the case, and then the second hour you guys quiz me, because then it our attention's here and now. Do you understand? So we might as well utilize it like that. Because look, we've been on here for 2 hours, so that means, and I only did a like brief thing at the start. So that means next time, what I'll do with the creation one, I'll spend an hour giving my normal, usual format, bullet points and that. And then at the hour, you guys remind me, because I might be still talking on a tangent. Okay, hours come, boom, question and answer. And then we'll close it like that. So not only will you be able to take notes and references where you can go and research for yourself away from us, but also you'll be able to quiz me on this live, so that all the notes you're taking can make a bit more sense to you when you're going to do your own cross-reference and research. How's that sound? That good, yeah? Because no other person's doing that, because these guys are not real, yeah? So, guys, we love you all. I don't think there's any more questions. Much gratitude to Talisha, Empress Lee. Much gratitude to Official J, even though I haven't seen his name. Shout out to Ducknet Cloud. Shout out to, and guys, I'm sorry it was a bit late. I was so busy today that it just, I was nearly going to say, let me do it tomorrow. But I was so looking forward to this. I said, nah, I got to do this now. Shout out to Celestial Samurai. The Telegram channel is called the Forum. What I'll do, I'll post the link here for you, so you can just click on the link and come and join us. Or any of you who's been in this discussion, you're welcome to come and join us, as I really feel like Soul Family is finding each other more and more right now. And Celestial Samurai, I love that name. So you get a pass just on that name alone. MB, shout out to MB. Shout out to Nifemi24. Sorry if I pronounce your names wrong, guys. And I'm always talking about people who pronounce my name wrong. Yeah, is it Nifemi? Yeah, Nifemi24. So shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone in the forum, and shout out to anyone who finds this video after we've uploaded it and makes a connection with it. Yeah, we salute you. We love you all. Perception shapes reality. Okay, we are all children of the Most High. Okay, and I'll leave some notes for you guys in the comment section that is to do with this live. All right, peace, salute, namaste.